DISHIN podcast, we are back. This is episode 31. We had a very special guest on this week. We had Khalil Carr from Buffalo Fashion Week. We're going to be headlining the Buffalo Fashion Week show, which is going to be Fashion on the Field 2.
Buffalo Fashion Week at Nardin Academy Sportsplex, October 18th from 5 p.m. to about 9 or 10 p.m. See you guys there. Let's get into it.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the DISHIN podcast, episode 31.
31, let's go.
Let's rock. We've been talking about, we always have guests on. Or, well, I shouldn't say we always have guests on. We have been heavy on the guests lately. For those of you guys that tuned into the AJ Greer episode, thank you guys for that. That was a fun episode, but we have a very special guest. Why don't you introduce him today? I introduce all the guests, so you do it.
Let's go, baby. We got the star of the show. We got Khalil. He's from Buffalo Fashion Week in the flesh here. Let's go.
Hey,
say what's up.
Guys? I'm Khalil Carr. I'm executive director of Buffalo Fashion Week. I'm a producer, director, actor. Look, I'm part of the DISHIN team too now. I'm just kidding, but no, low key. Like I feel like I can do whatever I want to do. So I feel like being a part of the DISHIN family. So thank you guys for having me here today. Very honored to sit in this chair because I've watched previous episodes and I feel like now I'm special. I am special.
Hell yeah, let's go. This is long overdue too, man.
I mean, look, we made it happen though. We made it happen. So I'm ready.
Let's go. Do you wanna tell the folks what we got coming up here next month? Well, actually, no. By the time this comes out in a few weeks,
This is probably going to be tomorrow.
yeah.
Yeah, Khalil, you can speak on it better than anybody else, I think. So why don't you
Yeah.
introduce it and say why we're here talking about this today?
So this week is going to be a huge week for us, or October is going to be a big month. DISHIN is our headlining designer at Buffalo Fashion Week. We've never done this before. New Era's walked for us, brand new era. They came and they put their collection in, but they were just a designer like everybody else. And you guys are designers, but what makes you guys special is you guys are headlining. Headlining to me is something that we just started because it's like, how do we create those partnerships and really give back to the brands that give back to our city and, put them on that platform as they've been putting many other brands and many other people on their platforms. So I thought it was the best time for our sports show to have a DISHIN headline Buffalo Fashion Week show, Fashion on Field 2. So huge. It's really huge. And I'm so excited to build that partnership with you guys.
Yeah, we're stoked. For those that maybe don't know, and maybe because we have a lot of people that will tune into this that aren't from Buffalo. So can you kind of give like a brief intro and background as to like how Buffalo Fashion Week started, how you got involved with it, and kind of where you guys are heading?
Absolutely. Buffalo Fashion Week was a thing when I was probably like 8 years old, and it ended when I was like 10 or so. And that was a few years, like probably more than a decade ago. And then I did a film in 2023, and I remember just wondering, like, if I can do a film, I can do a fashion show, because I was just like, I love fashion, I love film, I love all that stuff. And I brought it back. So in September of 2023, we did our first thing of shows. It was very slow, not a lot of people came, but then the hype of Buffalo has fashion shows. If you guys don't know, like, Buffalo is a very sports-centered city. It is very football, very much hockey, and beer and wings. And, so doing something different like that caught a lot of people's eye. And I brought it back, and since then it has been amazing. So what we do is we do events. Back then we used to do a show every day, which is kind of insane.
Of that week, right?
Yeah, of that week. We used to do a fashion show every day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we couldn't do that no more. Like I said, this is stressful, guys. Every show was different. Every show needed like so much attention, and we couldn't do that. So we ended up doing one show, which showed that it was great for us. But yeah, we do fashion shows and events throughout, giving platform to artists such as designers, models, musicians, all type of people who are in Buffalo that are creative. We try to give the platform. So that's what we're about.
Yeah, I think one thing Matt and I talk a lot about too is like when we first started going hard with the DISHIN brand and like really kind of took like the full-time jump into all of this, like there was no events like this in Buffalo really that were coming up. And now, you have your event. I know that there was FIG a few weeks ago or last week or whatever that was. But it's just you're opening so many doors for creators, artists, fashion designers to come in and kind of really find a lane for themselves to work in this creative industry. And I think that's so interesting because, again, you're serving an artist, you're serving a fashion designer, you are serving producers, videographers, photographers, all that, and giving them an event, a place to come shoot and practice their craft and kind of master that. And I think that's really important in Buffalo because you said this is all about community here.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so cool that we have this now. And it's cool for even like the younger generation to kind of be part of this movement here.
I agree. Like, even before I speak to a lot of creatives that have came up before me and really worked in this industry. And some people will say, like, they'll contrary and be like, hey, no, this always been here. But I understand that, like, there's been, like, before Michael Jackson, I'm sure there are people doing music, right? But I think this era of art has been so disruptive that is, like, it has changed the landscape of how we even think about it, right? So, like, before Buffalo Fashion Week, I've never been to a fashion show in my life, right? And even if I did, I didn't hear about it. Lately, every time, like, I think we were shooting, and then someone's like, what's the shoot for? And I'm like, oh, we're just shooting for our Buffalo Fashion Week. And they brought up the commercial, and they were like, yo, it was so fun. And I'm just like, and I look, we exchange Instagrams, and he doesn't follow it. But our reach is getting to so many people in our city. And so that's the understatement people don't get, is like how disruptive our campaigns have been, how disruptive we've turned it into a like staple in Buffalo where you can go leave work and there's something to do, or there's something happening every season when it comes to artists. And I'm just very blessed that I'm able to usher that and with the support of peers that do the same thing. So very cool.
I think you're showing people too that you can turn your 9 to 5 into your 5 to 9. There's that movement there. And I think that's so cool because, you know, some people that want to get into this stuff, like, unfortunately, they have to work, but after work, like you said, they have something to do. They have somewhere to go. They have somewhere where they can connect with people on a creative level and really put that stuff out. So I think that's super cool. And I know, did you have something, Matt? I know you were.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's really cool. Just a lot of the stuff that you said, Nick, is just being able to kind of have Buffalo Fashion be a resource and a hub to all these creative people within Buffalo. Because I know for me personally, I've been able to meet so many people within the network that you guys have together in the community of so many people that are creative and in this space and so extremely talented. And I think that's been one of the coolest pieces for me, is to be able to connect with all these people and understand their passions and really their skill level and get to understand that a little bit more. I know being at the studio a few weeks ago when we did that sit down interview with Tommy, and, you know, just being able to meet some of the other designers and just some of these incredibly talented people that are, you know, interested in different works of creative like that. So that's been really cool for me. And, you know, being able to see them, I can't wait to meet more of them at the show too.
Yeah, I agree. I think you guys are going to have a good time. I have a question for you guys. How does it feel like headlining a show? You know what I mean? Like, I've thrown the shows. I've never been in a show, right? And so our last show had over 800 people, right? And so we don't know how much this show might get. It may get less, it may get more, but we know for a fact it's going to be a lot of eyes, right? So, like, how's that feeling? Like, you guys are headlining the show. Everybody's expecting, like, a lot. Not a lot, but, like, they're expecting the headliners to go crazy. So how are you guys feeling when it comes to, like, headlining a show like this?
I'll let you go first.
Well, I think first it's an honor, for sure. So thank you for allowing us to do that. I think that's huge. And I think for us, it really allows us to tap into our full potential. I think creatively allows us to really look at the whole slate of things and kind of pick and choose, like, you know, positioning of where we want to go, if we want to go first or last. And we decide we're going to go last just because I think it gives us, one, a little bit more time to prepare, but also to visualize the whole show and kind of how we can put our spin on it a little bit. I think, too, a lot of it is it doesn't leave us with any pressure, I would say. I think a lot of times because this is the first time we're going to be headlining a show too, I think, you know, if you were somebody that was going first or you're in the middle show, I think you want to kind of be able to step in there and kind of, I think fit in with some of the stuff. But I think with a lot of the stuff that we're doing with our brand, especially within our space in hockey, it is very disruptive, like you were saying. So I think we want to be able to bring our spin to that as much as possible. And I think the timing lines up really well too. I think with the collection that we have with New Era coming out this November, I think that's going to be a huge piece of everything that we're going to be showing into our collection. I know some of the stuff that we're going to talk about between us designing the first hockey jersey with New Era.
Yeah.
Some of the headwear pieces that we have, some of the apparel, some of the different little accessories like collectibles like pins and stuff that we have, and also just like adding our spin on it too with the smiley heads and just some different stuff that we've created in hockey. So I'm pumped for it, dude. I'm excited.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but can you go back to that? Like, this collection, guys, I've seen it, and I know you guys have been like teasing it online, but that's so huge, right? I want to touch on that. Like, working with New Era, like, it's a global brand, right? You guys are growing to not only a national level, soon to be extremely global. Like, working with New Era, how is that? The collection is fire. Like, I'm so excited about that, guys. Like, I think that's so cool. Like, I've sat in meetings with them, and they are extremely creative. The commercial is insane. The assets are insane. If you guys look, you can't see right now, but on the wall they have Tage Thompson, right? Sorry, I'm not the biggest hockey fan.
You got it.
But Tage is on the wall, on the window, and it's like in a peak spot downtown. Like, these guys are strategically insane when it comes to marketing and creativity. So talk us through this, guys. Like, I'm sorry, I'm taking over the interview now. Like, not even an interview. I'm taking over the conversation. So, like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think it's I would echo everything Matt said too. Like, a lot of the stuff we get to do on a daily basis is truly an honor. It's a privilege. And I don't think a day for any of us in the room and for all of our guys at the shop, like, I don't think a day is taken for granted. Do we have a lot of long days, long strenuous days, especially around this time of year? For sure. But at the same time, I mean, it's pretty cool for us to be introducing a hockey jersey, like, through the New Era kind of brand, if you will. Especially using a guy like Tage Thompson, having him involved was so key, because he's right in our backyard, right? Buffalo Sabres player, top of his game right now, 40 goal scorer, soon to be 50, hopefully. And just it's cool to really kind of bring all of that together. I know this is something that Matt and I and everybody at the shop here have talked about over the years, is like who can we get to model this stuff for us? Who do we want to be the face of this brand and in certain campaigns? And I think Tage is such a good guy for that. And I think for us too, we're so niche down to hockey, right? And Matt said it earlier. We try to be disruptive in the sport. And I think, like, working with New Era and kind of being in those meetings and sitting down and designing stuff, like, it kind of gives us a little bit more creative juices to kind of bring to hockey, to the sport. And that even goes back to, like, doing stuff with you too, like at Buffalo Fashion Week. I think tapping into that network and being a part of that, like, even though we're solely hockey in that niche, I think going into an event like with you and also working with New Era, it allows us to really open our minds a little bit more to what we can bring to hockey. And for me, I know that's been the funnest part of all of this is that part of it. And too, just, trying to put the city on the map too, because there's a lot of creativity in this city. I know Derek and we talked about it quite a bit last week, how grateful and fortunate we are to have a creative space here in Buffalo, because I'm sure you've gone to other cities and have seen some cities don't have a tight creative community like we do here. And I think that, I think we got to shed some light on that.
Yeah. You guys are super cool. I can see in the future, instead of the Key Bank Center. Is it the Key Bank Center? I can see DISHIN Center. Could you imagine, I can just see that, like, you guys take over Buffalo and just take over the world. Like, you guys have, honestly, like, the brightest future of so many people I've sat down with, because it's like some people aren't as passionate. Like, even I talk to my team and I look at them in awe because how passionate they are with our brand. But, like, you guys are all doing this together. You know what I mean? You guys have been doing it together for a long time. And I'm sure there's bumps in the roads with all businesses and all relationships. But, like, for you guys to be going so hard and being successful at it is super inspiring for from entrepreneur to entrepreneur, because it's, like, so cool. Like, you guys are branded everywhere. Like, the marketing, come on, guys. Like, it's, like, everywhere. Like, if no one's not seeing it, they're living under a rock. So I think that's super cool. And, hey, like, New Era, that knocks the next door to, like, Carhartt, right? That, like, it's so many other brands that, like, that just really gets the door open for. And so super cool, guys. I don't know, very inspired, guys. You got to see The Office. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but if not, we got to do like an MTV Cribs type of thing. And I want you guys to see. I'll host it too. Like, I'll host the walkthrough. You guys have to see it. But yeah.
We should do that. We should
That
do
would
that
be
for
cool.
that would be sick because
That'd be
we did a Cribs episode when we did our Hawks collab and
Derek.
Derek.
We should do that with the drone.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Hire me, guys. Come on. I said, what did I tell you? I said just wings. Like, you pay me in wings, I'm here.
Let's go. But did you have something, Matt?
No, I don't. I'm good. I echo all that. Oh, how's that one saying go? High tides raise all ships. I think. Yeah, I think that's like.
What does that mean?
I think it means like I think we're able to like lift everybody up together, and I think being able to work with us on the new era, you working in New Era, working on that side of things, us being able to headline the event, also being able to work with different creatives, connect with different brands, leads to more collaborations in the city, building community. I think that's all stuff that we know is extremely important to us, and just being able to help uplift each other, I think, is one thing that's extremely important through all of it.
I wanted to ask you. You mentioned Levi, the film, which I need to get a link for that when we're done talking here because I have not seen that, and I'm shooting myself in the foot right now for not seeing it. So, can you like talk a little bit about that? Like, what that experience was like, producing it, directing it, building out an entire crew, and then also just kind of having the end product be seen. I think it was on Hurdle, right?
Yeah, North Park.
Where's it?
North Park Theater.
North Park. Okay. Yeah. Can you walk us through that from start to finish?
I heard about that. I used to live off Hurdle, and I remember hearing about that, but I didn't know that was you that put that together. So that's
it was first of all,
and you're like, dude, you're young as fuck too. So for someone to do that at that age, and like I remember when we first sat down in the studio like 2 years ago, and we were talking about this, and you told me all of this. I'm like, yo, what? Like I remember seeing this, and I'm just like, damn, like this dude's got a bright ass future. So like, yeah, walk us through that a little bit.
I hate no kidding. It was the experience was like it was like hell though, low key. Like the experience was hell, but it was the best hell experience. Like actually, let me take that back because I feel like hell has a negative connotation, which it is very negative. But I had a really like difficult time doing it, but I had such a great time learning and experiencing Levi. So I was 18, 19 years old when I first wrote the film. I was working at Chick-fil-A for about 4 or 5 years at this time, and I'm saving money because I knew exactly what I wanted to do. This is a 5-year project, right? I knew at 15 I wanted to do a movie because I'm an actor. Like at first I'm at the end of the day, if all this washes, my passion is to be an actor, right? So I'm like, I keep auditioning. Like I don't think I ever talked to anybody about this, but I auditioned for Euphoria, did not get the role. I got 2 callbacks. I was like, like I'm gonna make it. Boom, decline. I got it was this movie called Shooting Stars. I think it's a story with Kevin Durant or et cetera, and it's on, I think it was on Prime or something like that. I auditioned for that, got close, it didn't work. So then my friend at the time, she's like, hey, like, we got to make our own movie. Like Jack Harlow said he was at Chick-fil-A, he was doing this, and I just watched a video of Jack Harlow just saying, we saved up money from Chick-fil-A and did this, and literally he worked at Chick-fil-A. And I was like, this is insane. Like, this is somebody telling me that I have to make my own movie. So then at like 18, 19, I'm in college and I wrote this film. Literally, it took a month or so to write. It wasn't my best writing. I was 19 at the time. I was thinking about what's cool at the moment, wrote it, and then I said, I got the money saved up at this point. So I need to do it, right? And I went to a lot of people, and I think the tough part was I was going to like backers, and I'm like, mind you, at this time I'm like 18. I'm like going to backers. I'm going to people like, hey, can you support this film? Hey, no one took me serious. Nobody responded to my messages. I literally had to do it on my own. I had to ask friends. I had to do this. I had to do that. And that other than that, it was history. Like I saved up $10,000 for the film. I ended up spending more money than $10,000, but I put all $10,000 in. I was like, you know what? If I don't get it back, I don't get it back. And at first, I was not going to get it back. I was not going to get that $10,000 back because no one heard about the story. The link was out for tickets. I think I saw like 10 tickets. North Park holds 600 people. And I said, there's no way I'm going to sell this out. At Chick-fil-A is this news reporter. Her name is Claudine Ewing. She came in, and every day I'm like, Claudine, like I said, I was telling myself, I said, I have to pull her over and talk to her about this story. And one day I said, I was at the window. I saw her name on the thing. I pushed the person because I was a manager at the time. I said, go, move. I'm at the window. And so I said, Claudine, your order's still getting worked on. I'm going to park you. So we parked her. Her order was ready. So I personally walked her order out and said, Claudine, please, I have this story. Like, can I pitch you the story? Like, I'm a young filmmaker. I'm 19. I did it on my own, blah, blah. She's like, okay, here's my number, but, you know. So I texted her the story. Yeah, I didn't even know how to write mind you, I went to school for PR. So at this time I didn't even know how to write a press release. I was like a sophomore, so I didn't even know how to write a press release. She was like, "What's the story?" And I told her, and I texted her a story again, and then she didn't text me back for like 2 weeks. I was like, rip. I said, I try, y'all, like this movie's not getting off the ground. She comes up with this story. She's like, I think we together, I don't remember the conversation, but she was like, not like, you know, people don't look like me that do stuff like this. She was like, how can we talk about that piece? Like, you're not only 19, but you also are a young African-American man. Like, how do we tell that piece to the story? And then she was like, are you the youngest executive producer? Are you this? Are you that? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just am doing me. And then doing research and stuff, I'm like, actually, I am. Like, there's no one who's ever did this. And so the research was done. She broke the story. The story kind of went insane. Like, I think the link has like 3,000 likes on it on Facebook. Wow. The video had like tens of thousands of views on all the social media platforms that they posted on. It was an amazing story. And I appreciate her because it caught fire. And since then, it was like, it changed the trajectory of my career. And it's got me into so many more rooms. And now everybody takes me serious. So that 18-year-old who wasn't being taken serious is now one of the most taken serious creative in the city, I feel like. So thank you, Claudine, and thank you to the other reporters and my team that helped me do that. But Levi is not out yet because we sent it to film festivals and it's been rejected a lot. And that means I need to do some fixing on my end to make sure it gets better, or just have to film a new movie. So I don't know about and I was 19 at the time, guys.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I watched it and I'm like, it's just ass. So I don't know if
I want to watch it. I want to see it.
But it was the theater was packed out though. I need a star in front of North Park.
Dude, I forgot you told me that story too about the Chick-fil-A thing too. I feel like that's so relatable for like all of us. You know, like Derek and I, like we parked cars for like the longest time in college and saved up money doing that. And like, yeah, it's so inspirational for especially somebody that I feel like there's so many people out there that need to hear that, because so many people just think stuff happens overnight, and like that's not the case at all. You don't just jump into doing this stuff, you know, after a week or a month. Like, I mean, this stuff takes years.
And put your ego to the side and if you need a fast food job, get the fast food job, guys. It is okay. Like, people have huge egos in this creative landscape. Like, I have people always come up to me like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I'm like, oh, what's your budget? They're like, I have no budget. Do you have a job? I have no job. Dude, like, I'm sorry, like, it's not happening. Like,
no one's gonna hand you a check for 20 grand and be like, here you go. Like, you have to. And like, I think too, it's cool that you kind of like, you invested in yourself. You invested in a story that you truly believed in, and invested not only that, but also the people on your crew too. Like, because you're at Buff State at this time too. So like, did you tap into that at all?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Like heavily?
We used every lab room and computer at Buff State. We filmed at Buff State. Buff State supported me so much. I emailed my president and said, we need to use the building for a scene. And she said, absolutely. She gave UPD the green light to open up the buildings for us to film. Like, and we used every computer, lab, all that. So thanks, Buff State.
What about filming? Like, what was filming like for you guys? Like, how long?
12, 15-hour days.
And how many of those? Like, was it like a month? Like, did you guys film
a
for
month and a half.
Wow.
Consistently. Straight. Back to back. I think we had 1 week off because somebody on my team just didn't think that we needed all our time. They were like, you know, we take this time to reconcept, do other things, and we did have a good week off. And yeah, it was a bad idea, but we did consistently film back to back for a month and a half. It was kind of insane.
All right, so you did Levi, and then what was next from there?
Buffalo Fashion Week.
Buffalo Fashion Week, that was your next project you worked on. Founded that. Well, you got it going again, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I've been Buffalo Fashion Week since.
But that was like a huge piece of your creative journey and getting all that going, and learn so much about it, I'm sure. And yeah, would you do that again though? Would you make a film?
Absolutely.
Again?
Just budgets and budgets and money. That's what makes a film. And sometimes people say it is creative drive, but realistically, you need money to do a film and do it the way I unfortunately have this vision to do. So
I'm sure you see the same type of thing with Buffalo Fashion Week, and we talked a lot about support and partnerships and sponsors. And why don't you talk about that a little bit? Some of the sponsors and some of the community partners that you're teaming up with that really have helped put the whole thing together.
So Picasso Pizza is a partner up with us this season, which is super cool. We have continuing partners with Best Self Behavioral Health, Key Bank.
I'm sure there's a lot.
So
there's
many.
a lot in the PDF that we put together too. Yeah,
it's a lot. So Charter School for Applied Technologies is a high school that I went to. They're sponsoring it. So thank you to them. But yeah, so many partners and community people that is making this happen. And that was not a thing a year ago. So I appreciate that. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That's dope. A lot of brands that we work with too. So there's good crossover there.
Yeah.
We do a lot with Mark from Picasso's. They're great.
Yeah.
Like anytime that we need food on set for a shoot or whatnot, he's like our go-to call for stuff. So that's huge. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, another thing too. What can guests and spectators expect to see at this? I don't want you to we don't want you to spoil it. But what can they expect? Or
talk about details of the event, location, time, kind of like Nick said, what they can expect throughout the whole thing. If it's your first time coming to the show, if you're not able to make the show but you want to come in future years to come, what would you say?
Yeah, so first of all, this show is going to be elevated sports. Last year we focused on like football and like basketball. This year we're going to obviously focus on the hockey piece, but more Olympic sports as well. I think you should expect a quicker show than usual. You should expect good food, a great experience. Our team has been working every day. We just left a workshop yesterday, almost midnight, really working on that hospitality piece. VIP, expect a lot. We have a whole area dedicated to you with sponsored beverages and complimentary food. The experience is going to be amazing. The show, the designers are amazing. They're top tier. The top 10 best designers I feel like in the city, and performances, just so much. It's so much you have to see for yourself. It's October 18th at Narden Indoor Complex. The doors close at 6:30. The doors will close. So if you bought a ticket and you walk in at 6:35, you will not be getting in. Unfortunately. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But please come before 6:30 and enjoy the biggest sports runway in Buffalo. So,
what's the biggest thing you're looking forward to the most for Buffalo Fashion Week for this event?
For this event? For it to be over.
Jeez.
I'm tired. I'm just kidding. No. Sometimes we have to be real. Like, there's a lot of planning.
For real. It's a lot of work going all together, though.
I'm looking forward to continue to grow this business, grow partnerships, and grow visibility to what we got going on. And whole point is to give platforms to designers. I want them to be in New York Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week. I want them to be empowered. My whole goal is to really give people platforms. That's my calling. And so, like, I hope that's what this event comes out of. Somebody in the crowd is like, I want to work with this person. I feel inspired by this design. I want to go meet them, and I want to invest. We want to invite buyers. We want to invite people with the checks, some too, investors, all type of things.
Budgets.
So, yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Legacy House for the video that they put together. For
Absolutely.
The event. So fire, bro. That shit is so sick.
Fire.
Yeah,
Adam is a wizard. So thank you, Adam. He's one of our biggest sponsors too. I don't know why I didn't even say that. He's one of our biggest sponsors. He supports us 100% from location to video support and photography support. He's a secret weapon in our city. Like, he literally can do anything
And everything. Dude.
anything and everything, and he's so quick on his feet. And I don't know. He's that guy.
We don't know how he does it sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
we've been working together, like me especially, for the last what feels like 10 years, but probably 8. And yeah, just the things that he's able to pick up on so quickly is just insane to me. And I don't know, sometimes it's nice to also, because I'm usually behind the camera with him, but I was actually in front of the camera for a little bit with him. So, and also too, shout out to Tommy for doing all those videos for the interviews too, dude. He has been crushing it at Legacy House.
He has.
Super creative, very talented, and the sky's the limit for him too.
I feel like I met my people, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
We are
man.
all alike.
So yeah, Buffalo Fashion Week. Let's go. October 18th.
Yes.
Doors close at 6:30. Narden Academy. Mark your calendars. Be there.
Be there. Tickets available still. Just make sure you don't miss it. If you miss it, you are a loser. I'm sorry. Keep that in, Derek. But you are a loser if you don't come. You're going to miss a spectacle. So thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Make sure you follow DISHIN podcast because this is where the best people come to speak and the best conversations are held.
That's right. Fashion on the field too. Let's go.
Let's go. Episode 31 in the books.
Banger.